Hey peeps, Amma here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are on the third video, which is the last video of the finance series that we've been running for our previous Saturdays. So if you have not yet checked out those first two videos that we've been sharing with Hulisani Matodzi, be sure to check them out. I will put them in the description box below, and I'll also put them in the cards. So for today, we'll be talking about black tax, whether black tax is a burden or whether it's a good thing. And joining us once again is Hulisani. Thank you so much once again for the third time, for creating the time to share your knowledge with us on finances. Welcome to Amma and Peeps.
Thanks Amma, and yeah, thanks for the welcome. This is the last part, and we just continue on the same note, educating and bringing good information to the viewers. Thank you.
Absolutely. So stay tuned to learn more about black tax and how it's affecting people, particularly in South Africa. Yeah, so Hulisani, as you know, today is all about black tax, and I think it's a very important topic to talk about. Most young black professionals are affected by black tax, and it's great that we have you on studio just to shed more light on what exactly is black tax and how it's affecting people and whether it's a good thing or not. So perhaps before we even jump into those questions, you could just give like just a brief explanation of what is black tax to someone who's hearing it for the very first time.
Yeah, no. So black tax, in simple form, is a practice that we as black people have had for centuries. It's been there for years and years and years, and it's a practice of a certain way. Once a child who's brought up within a home is now older and they're financially independent, they then start to take on responsibilities to look after their parents, grandparents, and siblings, if they have any who are still going through the schooling system. Yeah. So that has existed for time immemorial. We were born, we found it. And now we've just given it a more recent terms in the last, decade or so, and we started calling it black tax. And the term has now, found its home because it's you even find it in the newer dictionaries trying to explain what black tax is. So it's something that is always existed, and it started a long time ago. Even when we started being introduced into the schooling system, because what would happen is that the father, grandfather, or the mother would sell the cows, and they will take that money and they will take their child to school. And in that process, once that child starts working, the expectation now is that they need to now make sure that the siblings now go to school, because whatever they had, they have used it to fund the older siblings stuff. So they must make sure that they look after the siblings, and also assist the parents to make sure that they live a comfortable life. That's the concept of black tax.
Wow, you've really broken it down nicely, and it's very understandable right now. But I just want to find out from you, as an accountant, and obviously as someone who's very passionate about finance and how it unfolds in people's lives, or how it takes place. Is black tax a good thing? Is it a good thing to be having to worry about looking after your siblings and to actually be doing it, or is it bad?
Yeah, that's a very difficult question, because black tax in its own form has very good advantages for us as black people, but at the same time it can be burdensome to the other person who's paying it, because what it does is that the concept behind it is that once you're emancipated financially, then you help your siblings to also be financially emancipated and able to to get to where you are, but it is a difficult thing. So it has a bad impact on a young professional because you probably finish varsity the same time as your counterparts. You get exactly the same job. Your starting salary is the same, but then you achieve less than half of what the other person is achieving because they don't have this legacy of black tax and the responsibility to also, carry on families and extended families in that fashion.
Yeah. So can we blame? Since I like the comparison that you just finished university and you get the same job as someone else who doesn't have to worry about black tax, but then you are affected because you can't flourish financially as much as compared to the other person. So can we then blame black tax for young people, for young professionals who are not successful? Can we then blame it on the fact that they're not successful because they have to worry about black tax?
Yeah. So the concept of being successful once you've qualified and attained a job is quite broad.
Yeah, of course.
So I would say it's not solely determined by black tax, but black tax doesn't help. So there are other factors that would affect somebody's financial standing, whether they make it or they don't. But what black tax does, it delays a lot of things in that individual's life because, it might vary from, you're working now, just getting to live in a place that is comfortable and that is matching of your income, or getting a car that you don't want and you're gonna drive it for the next 5 years simply because your income is now divided. You have to diversify it and make sure that it's still able to cover those things.
Yeah.
So it's very disadvantaging in its nature to the person who's paying it, because at that time of your life is the time where you need money the most.
That's true.
And that's the time where
you're expected to pay for your siblings and everyone else at home. Is there a way to stop black tax?
Yes. So the way I think and I approach the concept of black tax is that there is a way to stop it, but before stopping it, we need to just understand three things. So the first, so the main thing is that you need to have a conversation with the people whom you are helping or supporting. Yeah. And you must have a conversation about the first thing. So the first thing must be to clear things out. Why am I doing this? So you need to sit down with them and explain them, help them understand that this whole concept of me supporting, or black tax as we call it, is to make sure that your parents, your grandparents, or whoever was your guardian, they're able to live a comfortable life. And you make it clear that this whole concept is not to make sure that it's not a second shot of becoming a Mutsepe and driving a Ferrari. It's just to make sure that your lifestyle is now comfortable. It's enabling you to have that lifestyle. Yeah. And then the second thing that you need to also make it clear to them is that it cannot continue forever. You need to have the conversation with them. Make sure they understand that it's impossible for this thing to continue forever.
Yeah. In other words, they need to then, when they reach a certain stage, let's say you are helping your siblings with school, that means they need to also then fly, spread their wings and fly, and stop depending on you when the situation is right.
Yes. And that leads to the final. So the final thing is that in this conversation now you must talk to them to say that they hold the factors of production, and one of the most important factor of production is labor.
Of course.
Is time. Yeah. It's your hands. So the conversation is to end there saying that you need to make something out of this enablement that I'm giving you, because it won't last forever. And once you've outlined all those things and they fully understand what is going on, now you can then move to the second stage. So the second stage, now you then deal with how do we stop black tax. And my approach, and it's an approach that was informed by a very successful, well-achieved Dr. Hulisani. He's here at UCT and he's also at the Red Cross. And that's the person who bring me alive to this fact that the way you approach black tax should be with a mindset that even if I want to, it can't continue forever.
Yeah.
So you will need to make sure that once you give that money to those people, number one, they must think about what happens when this stops.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning that now you need to be giving them money to enable them to be able to make their own money 4 or 5 years down the line. So that entails in saying, if a person is, as if I'm funding my younger brother's studies, they need to study with an aim to pass, succeed, and get a job and be sustainable.
Yeah.
That's the easiest part of black tax. But if I have a parent who's not educated, who's not working, who's sitting at home, I now need to say to her that I'm enabling you to live a comfortable life, but within a couple of years you must sustain that.
Yeah.
So now let's look, what kind of a business, what kind of a project can we help you to start and make sure that in 10 years time that business is able to assist you.
Yes.
And in my case, surely that's what I did. That I made sure that you know, for my mom, we brainstormed. I mean, we tried a couple of things that didn't work, but now we found something that worked, and we outlaid the money, and she was able to make enough money.
That's great.
To now get the second equipment on top of what we got for her, because she understood that as much as we love to do this, it can't continue forever. Yeah. Because when you take on black tax, especially on the high end of black tax where people are not working, there's no any provision at home, it now delays your dreams. Yeah. Like, of course, the way you would dream, this is a milestone of, you know, this is a car I want to drive, this is a house I want to live in, this is the kind of school my kids need to go to. Yeah. With black tax now in the picture, now you have to downgrade all of those things and defer them. But if there's no plan to stop it within the next 5 to 10 years, you can't defer some of your dreams for 50, 60 years, and then, you know, become 60 and you still, you know, thinking about doing things that you should have done when you were 30.
Absolutely.
So sit down with them, help them to make sure that they use their hands. A person who's sitting has hands and has time.
That's true.
And
that's
even
true.
if a person is disabled and they're not able to do things, they have a mind. And the power of mind and money is that it's able to hire people, direct them on the things that I would like to see them do, and out of that have a business and be able to sustain myself. So there is always a way where you can help them to be able to stand on their own within a good amount of time.
Absolutely. That is beautiful, because on social media, like a week to me, it doesn't pass without coming across somebody who is crying of how they've had to downgrade the standard of living just because at home they have to send money, and it looks like on a monthly basis they have to send even more money. The expenses are just so much that they're struggling to survive as individuals, and their dreams have just been on hold just because of black tax. So your information, it's just very much needed, and I hope people do really share this video with as many black people that are affected by black tax, because this will really change people's lives. I mean, you just need to talk to people at home and make them aware, like you said, that this has to stop. I'm doing this, it's temporarily, it has to stop because of 1, 2, 3. And so communication seems like it's key, and people need to also just be willing to make their own money, right?
Yes.
I like that. You're amazing. I mean, honestly, I'm so glad I invited you. And this brings us to the end. I mean, he has already, Hulisani has touched on all the key points that we need to hear in order to survive black tax. Black tax is with us, it's real, but it can be stopped. Hulisani, thank you so much. I would really like people to know about your YouTube channel. If you haven't yet checked out Hulisani's YouTube channel, be sure to do that. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description box below. So check it out. It's called Epic Financial Solutions. For all your financial solutions, you must check it out. And if you want to ask him any questions, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to Ama and Peeps. And if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. This is it from me and Hulisani.
Thank you very much for having me, and yeah, all the best to everyone who's watching, and I hope this will impact your life and it will help you here and there. And also, as you continue to stay onto this channel, that you'll gain even more over and above what we've just covered.
Absolutely. Take care. Bye.